This is the Relevant Podcast.
It's episode 1141, and it's the Relevant Podcast here in Orlando. I'm your host, Cameron Strang, and joining me from Loverland, Virginia, it's Jesse Carey.
Hello, hello.
From Nashville, our managing editor, downtown Emily Brown.
Hey, y'all.
Derek is traveling today, so he won't be with us. And from LA, you know him from Social Club Misfits, it's Marty.
What's going on?
How's y'all's week been? This is, y'all don't know, like the listeners don't know, but this week is really unique because this is the third podcast we actually recorded this week.
Yeah.
So how has your week been, even though I have saw you a day and a half ago?
I got to be honest. I had something relatively illuminating happen to me. That it seems very mundane, but you know, I think I recently watched that movie Leave the World Behind on Netflix with Ethan Hawke and Julia Roberts, where you know there's some sort of like cyber attack and they lose all connectivity and the power. It's horrifying. And then there was this news this week. It is like, you know, the girl in the movie just she can't even watch the series finale of Friends. It's, you know, I don't know if you guys have seen this film.
No, yeah, she is really concerned about it.
And then this week there was this national news where a sitting congressperson came out and said, hey, the chair of the House Intelligence Committee came out and said, there's a national security emergency I cannot talk about, but I'm begging the White House to let people know. Turned out insiders say they found out that Russia might have space nukes, and they have a weapon where they can take out satellites. Like they get their finger on the trigger.
Just not to alarm our listeners. Our NPR talked about this yesterday. I know what you're talking about. Yeah. The nukes, the space nukes cannot and are not intended to interfere with anything on Earth. There is no safety hazard on Earth. What they are pontificating is that the space nukes are meant to disrupt global satellite systems and go out there like Space Invaders video game and just pew, 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 and like shoot down like satellites.
Still not better.
Yeah. Because terrestrial nukes, they already have those. Now we got to worry about, now we're not even safe.
But they were clarifying the space nuke isn't going to fly over the U.S. and drop down from space onto the U.S. That's what they were trying to clarify.
No, it'll just disrupt that we can communicate with one another and we'll be isolated
Correct.
And alone in a darkness. Got it.
Listen, They're teaching 11 people who do oil rigs, these oil rig guys. They're teaching them, and then they're going to bring them into space. Does this sound familiar to anybody here?
Mm-hmm. I'm going to wrap a car in tinfoil and launch Ludacris out into space to take this thing out.
He'll take care of this. Take care of this. But either way, it's given me a lot to think about, and I'm very unprepared. I already know that about myself. I'm not someone who's a preparedness.
You're not
person.
a prepper.
Not a prepper.
Yeah. I'm not. I like that culture. I support that culture.
I mean this as a compliment. I could see you as a prepper.
Yeah,
no, he's not handy enough. He's not handy enough.
You look like it though. You do look like you know what you're doing.
But he may conceive a great idea for a prepper, like strategy or shelter, but he doesn't follow through. That's Jesse's problem.
Exactly, it's laziness. Like if I were,
you're probably the person you're friends with preppers, so that way, if and when the world ends, you're like, hey, bud.
Yeah.
Let me pop on over to the shelter.
You don't own a boat. You have a friend who owns a boat. Gotcha.
Yeah. Emily, you have no idea how deep I am in that community. What
I can only imagine.
But either way, like I was on the way to work one day and I got a flat tire, and I was thinking, I'm either walking or I'm getting a hold of AAA because there's no way I'm changing this. I know I will botch this right here. I know. So one, it'll be an all day thing, and I'll end up in the same spot having to call somebody that knows what they're doing. So why don't I just skip the middle part where I actually attempt to do it myself and just call an expert? Anyway, This week, my hot water heater in the garage went out. Okay. Just stopped functioning properly. And it made me realize that I can't even go out with hot water for a night. Like we're calling neighbors asking hey, can I just need a hot shower? You know what I mean? Like I'll bring towels and soaps.
Wait, you called neighbors to say, can you walk over to their house to shower?
Yeah.
Do you know them well?
I know all my neighbors.
I don't know any of my neighbors.
Thank you. It'd be weird for me to call any of my neighbors. I don't know how to call them.
I know every one of them.
I would have my towel on my shoulder and be knocking on their door. I don't know how to communicate with them.
Here's the thing. How did you know which one to call? Like, did you go down the list of like, who's the one that I want to go shower at their house?
Whoever responded to the Facebook post he did for the neighborhood.
That's what I'm saying. I have text threads with my Cameron always thinks this is weird, but he's been over my house. He's seen my neighborhood. It's just a chatty place, you know.
Very communal. They're cul-de-sacs galore.
Really?
But
okay, that's the
I love
key.
that.
Yeah. You're all looking at each other.
Everyone's always walking around. Everyone's just walking around all the time, chit-chatting about this and that. Anyway, I realized I couldn't even make it through one night without hot water. Everything else functioned, you know? And I was thinking, I think one of these space nukes goes off, you know, the power grid goes out. I literally think I'm in the first wave. I'm the first wave gone, and it's not even close.
Yeah.
Like, I think there's first wave people. There are second wave people who are just, you know, who have prepped. And then there are the survivors who will reboot humanity.
Jim Baker.
Who have vats of gruel like in the basement that they've invested in for years, and like generators and bunkers.
Yeah, you would have joined you would have joined Negan totally for like Walking Dead. Like, I know you would have joined the guy. They know what they're doing. They have weapons. Yeah. So and then now you have to kill people.
But I realize I'm a first wave person. First wave gone. Like, not even close. He's not even making it too nice with the hot shower. He's just succumbing to the zombies or the Soviets or whatever's
You're walking
happening.
up to them like, please, just do it. Just please, can you? Here's my elbow. Yeah, just knock it out right now. Just do it.
It's been very concerning, and it's made me think I should either get more handy, which at this point in my life isn't going to happen.
Yeah.
Like, even with even YouTube culture, like when something breaks, I'm like, I'll watch a YouTube video, figure it out. I always watch the YouTube video and make it way worse.
Yeah, Jesse, I'm just like you. I'm be honest with you. I'm just like you. My wife hates it because it doesn't matter what it is. I'm getting someone to replace it in the house. It's going to happen. Mm-hmm. And she gets upset because her dad owns a school where they teach people who come into this country how to, you know, become engineers and carpenter and like all these different, you know, so he is fully connected. He knows how to do it all. She married the guy who I was, you know, that like stick that you're twisting in a light because the ceilings are very high. I'm the one who like the light shattered in my hand. It's the like just the metal part is stuck inside of it's one of those.
I'm selectively cheap. And if I have this hard thing that if I can't, if it's a thing that I can do, I'm not going to pay somebody to do it for me. I'm going to do it myself. It's this weird mental block I have. So I've taught myself how to do everything at the house.
So see, I feel like I'm in the second wave group that you were talking about, Jesse, where like
I'm second wave. Yeah, I'm second wave.
But I'm early second wave. Like I made it to there, but I'm not last. Like, it's not like no one's going to be like, she almost survived. No, she didn't. She made it past the initial blitz, and then
you got a scratch in your leg that you've been hiding. You've been nursing the scratch. It's really like
now that actually is real, because I'm probably not going to tell. Like, I don't want to inconvenience you, so I'll be like, oh, sorry, my arm fell off. I'll just go over here, and then I die.
You're starting to get a little sick. You're coughing. I understand.
Yeah. I feel like Floridians are uniquely able to make it to the second wave because of our experience with hurricanes and stuff.
Well, you're kind of already living in a second wave.
Yeah, power going out for 5 or 6 days. We know how.
You think Florida will like be like one of the last remaining states that still like survived if we had like a zombie?
No, we're gonna be the first one that goes
off into the ocean.
Yeah, we're gonna go underwater within 25 years. I mean, it's like we're the first one to go.
They will be the first in the underwater community to survive.
Correct.
Amphibian.
That's true.
Nice.
Yeah, Waterworld. Yeah. Waterworld was about Floridians.
So you're saying the Floridians will be the first one to somehow have like merged with alligators and have some
we ride them as transportation.
It had nothing to do with the zombie. It just like crumbled and it's like,
but think about it. The word Floridian kind of sounds like an amphibian that already exists. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Yeah. This is how unhandy. I remember after we first got married in the first house we owned, there was we needed to replace an outlet or that wasn't working. I was like, how hard could that be? You know? Yeah. And I opened it up and I was like, there's 2 more wires than I thought would be back here. I'm just going to.
I thought we were going like, 2 max.
It was a pass through.
I love screws immediately. Those small screws are gone. They're gone.
It was like MacGruber where it's like, there's 50-50 chance on these. Like, I'm going to wire it up how I think it's going to be. And, we'll hope for the best. And I put it back on. I was like, look at that. It worked. And anyway, a little while later, my wife is in there blow drying her hair, and it was in the bathroom, and she like leaned against the wall, and she came running, and she was like, I don't know that you did it right. The wall is hot to the touch. And I was like, okay, here's the plan.
It's hot to touch.
I'm going to put some tape over that outlet. That means we're not using it until we sell the house. Deal?
All right. Well, we have a great show in store for you today. Coming up later, we talked to TAYA. You know her from Oceans and a bunch of other stuff. She has a new album coming out. We're excited about that. At the end of the show, we have Hot Takes. It's back. I have a list in front of me of very sizzling hot takes that I cannot wait for you guys to get into. Emily and I were in a different meeting, and I was compiling all the hot takes, and it was like, this is going to be good.
He kept laughing, and I was like, tell me what they are. And he goes, I can't tell you yet. So
I can't. It'll ruin it. No. All right. Stay tuned. Up next, it's Slices. Listening to Cage the Elephant. The song is Neon Pill. Today's podcast is brought to you in part by Mercy Ships. Globally, 5 billion people lack access to surgical care. In sub-Saharan Africa, there's only one surgeon for every 200,000 people. Mercy Ships provides free, life-transforming surgeries for people who have little to no access to medical care. They help the blind see, straighten twisted limbs, remove deadly tumors, treat cleft conditions, and so much more. With state-of-the-art hospital ships, they provide safe surgery to children and adults living with treatable conditions, and it's completely free of charge. They do all this work with an all-volunteer crew of professionals who donate their time and talents. Surgeons, stewards, nurses, engineers, and more make the world a better place. Your donation today provides free, safe surgeries to people in desperate need of help. All gifts are matched, so please donate today at mercyships.org/relevant. Okay, it's time for Slices. What do you have, Jesse?
All right. Well, Emily, I appreciate how well synced we are as people who have compiled interesting content from the internet for years professionally. Because she sent me, Emily, a little peek behind the curtain, always sends some ideas that we can talk about on the show.
Yeah, potential slices.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert.
And one that she sent me was actually, I had actually read the long form piece this morning over my cup of coffee. I had extra time this morning because I usually am a morning shower taker too, and that wasn't going to happen. So I decided to just kick back with a cup of coffee and forgo a hygiene routine. Anyway, and and the coffee maker still worked. And so that was the only hot water I've experienced in the last couple of days. Anyway, so I read this story in the New Yorker that I saw was being shared on Twitter, and it was from their financial advice columnist named Charlotte Cowles, and she also is a former columnist for the New York Times in the business section. So someone who knows finance,
theoretically,
and the world of personal finance and business. Yeah, she had advice. Yeah, theoretically, exactly. This is the title of the piece that I read. The day I put $50,000 in a shoebox and handed it to a stranger, I never thought I was the type of person to fall for a scam. A great headline, by the way.
The shoebox is my favorite part.
And I'll get into the scam that she fell for, but it also, like, the kind of the main underlying point of the story was that even if you don't think you're susceptible to financial scams, you probably are. And it contained this fact that is sort of the most slicey portion of the story, that younger adults, and this is according to a report from the Federal Trade Commission, that younger adults, Gen Z, millennials, and Gen X, so non-boomers, Gen Z, millennials, Gen X, are 34%. That is significant. 34% more likely to report losing money to a fraud compared to those in their 60s.
Wow.
So even though I feel like there's a perception that, boomers are gullible and, according to the FTC, it's younger adults who are much more likely to fall for a scam. So I read this story and I actually, And anecdotally, the author of this said after this happened to her, she started talking about it at like dinner parties, and kind of her husband was kind of talking to his friends. She reported a lot of people who have fallen for similar types of scams. So one day she gets a call from someone that's claiming to be from Amazon, the commerce site. And they say, hey, is this your name? Blah, blah, blah. Verifies a couple of identity things that are relatively easy to find. And says, hey, we've actually got bad news. Your identity's been stolen. There's all these fraudulent accounts in your name, all this, criminal activities happening under your name and under your account. Someone from the CIA will be contacting you. And so at first she thought, well, how could this be a scam? Because this person isn't even. So sure enough, she gets a number from someone who claims to be in law enforcement and that her identity has been stolen. And now she is implicated in all these criminal activities. And he says to her, and the kind of the most devious part of this whole thing, it kind of played out like a movie, is that they never really gave this woman time to think through what they were saying. They basically said, hey, either you comply and we'll help clear the fraud, or else the police, are going to come to your house and they're going to raid your house and seize all your assets, because that's how serious what you're implicated in. We need to basically do X, Y, and Z to take the foot off the gas of this investigation and protect your personal assets, because everything you have is in danger. Mm-hmm. Long story short, I encourage everyone to read it if you're interested. They actually convinced her that a federal agent was coming. She could drop off her money, which she withdrew, all of her savings, which she withdrew from a bank, and that would be waiting for her in a government locker with a new Social Security card. But it had to happen. They couldn't text or talk about it because all of her communications were being monitored by this sophisticated criminal network. Wow. And it worked for the scammers. It didn't work for the poor woman who had her life savings stolen. But the whole point of the story is, in a world where we have 50 different accounts and, we work with different banks, different online institutions, more and more people are falling for scams. Because if you get a call and someone has identifiable information about you, it's not that hard to convince people that they're from Amazon or from a credit card or from a bank and get critical information that can totally ruin you financially. Really interesting and scary story. Mm-hmm. But I encourage everyone to read it, even if they just want an interesting sort of piece of long form journalism.
I have one solution. Everybody do what I do. If you don't have the number saved in your phone, do not answer it. And then nobody from the CIA can call you because you didn't answer the phone. That's my solution. Number 2, did you hear Andy Cohen, the head of Bravo? He also recently got scammed out of a significant amount of money. I think it was more than $50,000. Oh. He finally told what happened to him. He said he had just gotten a new debit card from his bank, right? Like just gotten it. So it's very coincidental, the timing of this. So he just got a new card, and he got an email from the bank saying, hey, there's a problem activating your new card. Click here to, activate it or whatever. And so he did. He clicked it and he put in the information, blah, blah, blah. And so obviously that email was a scam, and he put in his debit card information. And they withdrew everything out of his account. Wow. And he said, in hindsight, because I had just gotten this card, the logo looked right. I didn't click on the email address to see that it was a scam email, because you can always look at the actual email address. Yeah. Emily is very good at doing that. And he didn't do that because it's like, oh yeah, this is happening. My bank needs my information. And so he fell for it too. So yeah, I would fall for an email one before I would fall for a phone call one.
Yeah, you got to check those emails. I do think you left out a key part of the story, Jesse. The woman writing this is a financial advice columnist for the New York Magazine. It's her whole job is to give people advice on how to handle their money. And that was kind of the bit, I had that when I was reading the story, I kept thinking this is the last time this woman will ever write about finances, because I don't think anyone's going to take advice from her anymore.
Well, she also cited another study that well-educated people or people with stable incomes are just as likely as people who don't have the same level of education or income to fall for scams. It's not, she said, but to your point, Emily, you know, she kind of made the point in the story that this isn't even a matter of financial literacy. The people who fall for scams tend to be, you know, have a certain personality type, not a certain, you know, sort of financial aptitude. Like the Andy Cohen example, it's just, it doesn't mean he's not good with money. It just means he fell for a scam. You know,
I think what's interesting about I haven't read the story yet, so I had only seen kind of headlines going around and heard the final scene, you know, of the shoebox. But like the way you describe it actually kind of, I could see why she, especially in her role about financial security and not like would actually fall for this. But at the point where you're standing on the street corner and you get a call saying, a white SUV is about to come around the corner, open the back door, put your shoebox with $50,000 in the back seat. Do not look at anybody who's driving and whatever. And that happened. That's when I would go, maybe this doesn't pass the sniff test. All the calls and all the other threats and stuff I get. But when you're talking about covert shoebox drops, I don't know.
But the way it played out is, you know, she's on someone and they spoof the number of the CIA headquarters. So they're like, look at the number you're getting the call from. They're like, we're going to be on the phone with you, but it's very important you do this. The people who are scamming you are connected to a criminal network and they are watching you. We're going to be on speakerphone. The special agent is going to drive up, drop the money. They will meet you at the lockbox. We'll stay on the phone with you while this transpires. You're part of a law enforcement undercover operation right now. Like they had her hook, line, and sinker, but mainly because they were terrifying her. And they said, look, you hang up right now. That's fine. But just to let you know, the police are going to come and they're going to come raid your apartment. So if you hang up, we're going to kind of have to raid your apartment. We're trying to avoid that happening.
I think what's also crazy to me about this too is like, obviously, I am one of the people who has the mentality of like, I'm not going to get scammed. I don't think I would fall for this scam specifically because if someone tried to tell me a criminal organization was after like my identity and finances, that doesn't make sense to me because I don't have $50,000 in my bank account that I can give you. You know what I mean? Like, so I don't like, I would not be a target for this scam. So I'm like, you can take the
she's high profile.
$12 in my account. That's fine.
But they weren't targeting her because for her, how much money she had. They just targeting someone with a clean identity. They were just trying to tie crimes to someone who had no tie to it. To you know what I mean? Like they were able to get the information about how much money she had in savings through talking to her, not saying, hey, we know this is what you have in your bank account. Sure. Yeah, that was part of the scam. It's just to understand how much cash we talk.
Well, I think it's clear that most Americans wouldn't make it in prison. You know, if they called me and said, listen, police are going to raid your house, I say, do it. Just do it. Yeah. Do it. No one ever tells you. Just do it. Whatever. I could do 3 years on my head. We'll be fine. And also the fact that at the end of it, she had to add the study, you know, like, hey, very intelligent people fall for this. So like the fact that she's like kind of like trying to save. Yeah. She's like, it could happen to anyone, you know, and then, you know, I just know that most Americans couldn't last a day in prison. And so because of that, you know, this, hey, we're going to arrest you and stuff like, whatever. Arrest me. Please arrest me because you got the wrong guy. I will sue you all and I'll spend the money just to break even to sue everybody who got involved in this.
Jesse, you know, the years of publishing, like there are seasons where like I'm noticing the team is like posting a lot of content in a row in a season about like burnout or finding God's calling for your life or like loneliness and singleness or whatever. And like, it's like, I'm going to check in on the team. Like, is so-and-so okay? Like, is the person planning all this content all right? They say maybe they're burned out. Do you realize what you brought today? Space nukes, preppers, and scams. What's going on, buddy? Are you all right?
Issues.
Not having a hot shower is really messing with him.
I will say this. Yeah, I haven't had a hot shower in days. Okay. And it's clear I'm losing my mind.
Are you going to like a different neighbor every day to take a shower? Or are you going to the same one?
You got to spread it out.
I've been the one in my household that has just decided that I will brave the cold shower. And clearly it's, you know, there's this whole cold plunge thing happening right now.
Yeah.
I'm not one of those people. There's no
Your
way I'm
first
doing
waiver.
I love that
That's
thing.
what it is.
I do cold showers. I'm an only cold shower type guy now.
No, it clearly it's making me slowly lose my mind and become paranoid.
You are one step away from the tinfoil hat and like the red strings with on the push pins.
I almost went to the gym today just to take a shower on the way to work. That's real talk. Just because I was like, I'm not.
Yeah, that's
but I was like, is it weird? If it's weird if I just show up to the gym and just walk right into the locker room and shower and then leave and don't get a workout.
If you're not a member.
Yeah, if you're not homeless, that's a homeless thing to do.
It almost came to that. It might come, depending on the word from the plumber tonight, it either that's going to happen or it's going to get Lord of the Flies in my house real quick. As you guys can tell, we're almost there. We're on the
slipping.
verge.
We're just going down the slope. All right. What do you have, Emily?
Okay, so let me start off by saying I'm not really a huge tech person. Okay, like when new technology is announced, I'm not a first waiver, right? To get like swept up in the excitement of it. But this one, there's a new feature coming out that I do think I am going to be part of the first wave. It's coming to smartphones. It's called Talk to a Live Representative. And it's a feature that will contact businesses for you, navigate like the phone tree and like, press 2 for more information, whatever. Wait on hold and then call you when a real human being is ready to chat.
Wow.
It's like the most
that's a game changer.
First world problem-solving use of technology I've ever heard of. And it's also funny because it's just like robots talking to each other. I'm like really excited about this because I know this is where my Gen Z part comes out. I hate talking on the phone. It's to represent, like I get anxious about it. I hate having to do it. I would rather do like a live chat all day. But if I can at least just get to the human part, I think I could maybe be a little bit better. So I'm excited.
That's brilliant.
And it's also opened up my idea. Like it's made me think like, what are other just tiny little first world technology problems that technology could solve? And that's what I don't care about how AI is going to revolutionize everything. I just need it to solve my little bitty baby problems every day.
This is the greatest product I've ever heard. I can't tell you how many times my kids have come in the room or someone's coming and I'm just screaming at the phone, agent, help, agent. Like talking to that little robot that's asking me to hit numbers for different little things on the back of my internet router. I'm done. Just let me talk to somebody because I'm sure if I can talk to a human, we can resolve this very quickly. I've already established I'm not good at fixing things. I'm not going to be able to do it with your little phone robot. Okay.
Yeah.
I need a human to reboot the router from the headquarters. Just put me on. Real talk. Last time I got a human on, they have to do because I screamed agent until they put somebody on. I was FaceTiming with them. Okay.
You guys personally.
I was FaceTiming in the house behind the router. Yeah, they have a little thing you can do. I was showing them the Christmas decorations. I introduced them to the kids. It was great. I made a new friend. Okay, you're not going to get that with some robot. And guess what? They ended up fixing the router. So good news.
Now you have to put $50,000 to a random man because of this guy.
I will say this: they set me up with this investment. I had to convert a significant amount of cash to crypto and send it.
Poor wife.
The return will be.
Well, you can't speak about it much because it's the CIA. But let's.
It's going to really work with airlines.
Oh yeah, insurance.
That's going to work great with Emily because that's the worst. No, your plane gets delayed and you call the number. You have to, agent. It doesn't do it anymore. Now for American or like Delta, it's like agent. And it'll be like, before we get you to an agent, tell us what they want, because everyone's just pressing 0 or agent. That's where it's going to really work.
It's a great product.
Yeah. The key part is that they wait on hold for you because that's where I really start to lose my patience is when it's like the terrible elevator music that is on for 12 minutes.
Yeah.
12 minutes.
I know exactly one, Jesse. Yeah.
Last year, I had to call the IRS and I was on hold for 9 hours one day.
What?
Like I just had that music playing on my speakerphone all day. Like wait, because it was one of those things like I'm not going to the back of this line. I've waited too long,
Yeah.
I guess so.
And then it's like you finally get on and it's like you're so frustrated because you've been listening to the worst music on earth.
Not their fault.
And it's not and it's like I don't want to be mad at you, but I have zero patience now because you made me wait 9 hours. And this would solve all that.
All right. What do you have, Marty?
Studies say that 40% of humans say that their mom takes better care of them than their significant other. So 2 in 5 Americans say their mom take care of them better than their significant other when they're sick. It was out of 2000. Yeah, when they're sick. Out of 2,000, no, not without sick, just in general.
Well, when you said it the first time, you left off the when they're sick thing. I was like, yeah.
I was trying to see how far I could push it without saying it. But so and it's funny enough, it's 43% is men and 35% are women saying that. Of course, it would be men saying, it's funny, the study also says that women, they love to be left alone. The majority of women, when they're sick, want to be left alone, which totally makes sense because who wants to, like, I feel like as a man, like, all I do is bring my wife more problems. So, like, when she's sick, does she even want to hear, that, hey, babe, I got what's it called? Jell-O and stuck in the toaster. And I don't know how to get, how do you wash it? These questions, my wife doesn't need to hear them. So men are more likely to want their mom. And women are more likely to be left alone. And they want to be taken care of.
I think there was something, too, that said, like, 80% of women believe that they handle being sick better than men.
No question.
Last time I got sick, I got so desperate and needy when everyone in my house was gone. And I had to call Francis from Cox Cable and just be like, remember that FaceTime we had that when the cable box went out for the playoff game? I just seen how you're doing. I'm pretty sick, pretty laid out. I can go through the symptoms if you'd like. Cable's working great. Hey, I'll say this cable box been working great since the reboot.
All right. Well, that'll do it for Slices. Stay tuned. Up next, Taya joins us.
If we could go back to the way it was, then maybe we could feel alright. I know we're not close, but if you want to talk to me whenever you like. It's not easy to say or easy to do, just to let it all out. If we could just talk and be closer again, maybe we could talk all the time.
You're listening to Manova. The song is Tell Me Something. Well, today's show is brought to you in part by the new book, God, the Science, the Evidence. We talk a lot about faith, but how often do we talk about science in the same breath? You might be surprised to discover just how deeply the two actually agree. For centuries, science has been used to dismiss the idea of God, but today an intellectual revolution is underway. Modern discoveries in physics, cosmology, and biology are consistently revealing the same truth: creation isn't an accident. That profound reversal is what engineers Michel-Yves Bolloré and Olivier Bonassi investigate in their international bestseller, God, the Science, the Evidence. This book is a rigorous, evidence-based critique of materialism, inviting you to explore over a dozen scientific, philosophical, and historical domains. It shows that what was once seemed impossible, that science could point to a creator, is now supported by a vast and convergent body of evidence. With over 400,000 copies sold in Europe, this book is sparking a global debate. It's thoughtful, fascinating, and a powerful reminder that reason itself affirms the existence of God. Learn more and find out where you can purchase your copy today by visiting godthesciencetheevidence.com. Well, today our guest is Taya. You know her from Hillsong United and the voice behind some of the biggest Christian songs of all time, like Oceans. Last year, she released her debut solo project. She just released a new single called Gonna Be Good from an upcoming sophomore solo project. She also just welcomed the birth of her first child with her husband, so it's an exciting season for her. We talked to her about all of it, including the evolution of her music and how maybe we need a little more variety in Christian genre. Here's part of our conversation with Taya.
I got about a million reasons to praise you. I got about a million stories to tell about how you always made a way through. I may not know where we're going, but I know that it's gonna be good.
This is such a joy-filled song. I just was curious, what inspired that?
A word that my husband actually felt like he got from the Holy Spirit before we were moving to America. So that was maybe about 3.5 years ago. He felt in the season that we were about to step into, which was just trusting in God and, an overseas move and just stuff that we just hadn't conceived would happen, but was going to happen. And, a lot of unknowns and, things that could cause worry if we chose to go down that route. he felt this word from God that we're meant to trust and be joyful, which is a really funny combination, because you would think when you trust in God, you're trusting in his character, you're trusting in who he is. You know, he's omnipresent, he's omniscient, he knows everything. Nothing is a surprise to him, nothing shakes him. He is true, infallible, eternal God, you know, which that should be enough for us. But again, we're humans and we have doubts and we allow things to creep in, and we need to arrest those thoughts, like it says in the Bible as well, and bring everything under the authority of Jesus, which includes what we are thinking about. That's a word for me too. Challenged. Like all that to say, we should, when we say like we trust in God, that we have that context that we're trusting in that God, that he is everything that I just said before. But then so many times we can trust God but be miffed, and we can trust God and still have these little attitudes of like, I trust you, but this sucks, and I trust you in. But my husband really felt we were meant to be joyful, trust and be joyful, which means that you truly do let go of the worry, and you let go of the fear of the unknown, and you let go of, well, what about this, God? And what if that, like all the what ifs. And it's kind of funny how it's stemmed from that word, and it's kind of been something that's been reiterated to me over the last little while, in particular at the start of last year when I was, going to put pen to paper again for this next record. I took some time out, and I really wanted to hear a word from God, because I can't do it without him. And so I needed direction, and I waited. And it's hilarious. He spoke to me through birds, and he spoke to me through this scripture in Matthew 6. And it was basically, cease from your worry about money. Don't even, and I had to ask God, am I worrying about provision? Am I worrying about, in advance, like how are we going to do this? Because we're living in America. And there was a whole bunch of unforeseen things that were yet to, unfold when it came to now no longer working at a church, and what that looked like, and the unpacking of that, and finding a new church community, and so it felt like I was speaking into that season before we even knew that was going to be unfolding. And then it said, because my husband, at the time wasn't working, and we were on one income, and what that looked like, and unbeknownst to me, I was pregnant at that time. Didn't realize. And so just wild timing and wild kindness of God. And then he drew my attention to Matthew 6, and it was even the ability to step back into writing again. Maybe I was questioning some of that and going, knowing, I guess, the big undertaking that an album is and that whole process. And so basically I felt like God was speaking into all of it for me. And he just was like, essentially getting your eyes off yourself, look up at the birds. And in Matthew 6, it talks about how they are careless in the care of God, about how they are just obeying the instincts that God has placed within them. And they don't gather for food, and they don't freak out that they don't have a place, to rest their heads. And then it talks about how much God provides for them. How much more does your Heavenly Father know what you need? How much more will he clothe you if he chooses to clothe, the flowers of the field in the most beautiful, extravagant clothes that, not some people won't ever see those flowers, and yet God has chosen to do that. And then it's like, not only does he delight in creating his creation, but how much he delights in caring for his creation in such a beautiful detail. And so I was having that revelation in January of last year. Then I went to Nashville and got to write with some dear friends, a whole bunch of different friends and new acquaintances. And I got to be in the room with this guy called Josh Silverberg, who is has an incredible healing ministry. I'm just going to say it, like he believes in the power of the name of Jesus, and he is unashamed when it comes to praying for people and believing for healing. And he is an incredible testimony himself. I won't steal that. Maybe that's a great person to have on at some point, because he's incredible. He's a producer. He's in the sync world. And I did a session with him, and then he texted me saying, I'd love to have you back, and let's just take all pressure off of trying to write for something, and let's just see what comes, which felt like a really fun, creative type session to be in. I was like, I was really thinking I'd love to do that. And so then I invited my friend Jessie Early, who is a melodic genius, and she's also a beautiful Christian gal who is in the sync world and pop world, and she's an artist within her own right. And so we were all in a room together. We'd been talking about everything that kind of God had been dropping in my heart the months before, and I just kept telling stories of just how God had met my husband and I in just ridiculously kind ways over and over and over again. And Josh is looking at me, he's like, you've got a million reasons to praise God, and you've also got a million stories just of the way that God has shown up time and time and time again, and he's never left you. And then we're like, oh yeah, like that's so true. Like this is testimony time, and that's where the chorus kind of came. And then we wanted to start the song with like, look at the birds, how free they fly. And then we kind of just went through the scripture, and it kind of just, in such a joy-filled way, it just kind of wrote itself. And looking back on it, it was just like, no holds barred. We took all the pressure off. We made it funky. We put the BPM up so much higher than anything else that we had. And we just like, let's get the bass really funky. And like, Jessie, let's do some, BGVs. And like, it just, the Lord's giving me like a song to carry in this season that just is about trust and being joyful in the midst of trusting.
Every day's a good day to praise you. I got about a million reasons to praise you. I got about a million stories to tell. Oh, let me tell about how you always made a way through. Yeah.
I just love that you have this like posture of joy, because even like you were saying, like, I think a lot of times we kind of have this idea of like, okay, I'll stop worrying, I'll give it to God, but we're not joyful about it, and we're still kind of somber. And so, yeah, I love that that not only are you embracing joy, but you're like passing that joy out with other people. Because even like the music video is like so fun and bright and like just exciting. I'm really excited for that. I am curious, like, I know you're working on more new music. Is that theme going to continue, or is this maybe just for this song? Do you have any thoughts about that?
I feel like trust is something that I'll never not, I guess, have as a theme. Not just in music, but like in life. I got given this amazing opportunity to steward this song Oceans in 2013, which was just over 10 years ago. And that song is all about trust. And it's a kind of trust where it says a prayer of asking God to use me in such a way where I will walk out into the craziest deep water where I have nothing else to lean on, nothing to fall back on, no borders. And like, I think the line is trust with trust without borders. And now I'm like, wait, is that actually the line? Spirit lead me where my trust is without borders. Yeah, praise God.
You got it.
Rewrite. And I've just found in every single season, because it's a song that I continue to sing and get to sing and be grateful for, because it's a reminder that it's a layer type thing. It's not you say that you trust God in one season and then that's it. It's like, no, I get to, in this new season, get to trust him in a whole new way, in a deeper way, and with things that perhaps are even more precious and things that I care about even more. And yet I'm not meant to trust any less. I'm actually meant to continue to trust more and continue to grow in my trust. And in this season, it's trust and joy, which has been a challenge and been something that hasn't come easily. And again, like, I just want to be very honest. Like, there's totally been days and times where I'm like full on crying, going, Lord, what have I said yes to? Or like, are you sure I'm the right person? Like, imposter syndrome. And yeah, and just learning where to bring that to, like, not just sit in it, feel it, yes, but like, who do I take it to? And to take it to God first. and then be able to like unpack that with my husband and, you know, key, dear, more mature friends, you know, that God has placed in our life. And it's something that I don't think I'll ever get away from. And I don't want to as well, because I think anytime that I think I've got this, man, I'm going to fall on my face, you know?
You know, I hadn't made that connection. The like theme of trust is like present throughout, even like a decade later. Like it's changed, but it hasn't. Like it's so interesting. Yeah. Although what has changed is I think like your sound has changed, because I feel like a lot of people still associate you with like kind of like the live worship sound, you know, for lack of a better, it has a specific sound. But you know, this, I love it, so I'm not mad about it. But but like, you know, your new song is like just a very different sound. Are you like wanting to like try different genres? Was that just like this song needed to be this way? Like, what was the intentionality behind it?
I'm always that person that doesn't love to be pegged into a particular box, which is very hilarious. When then you were called an artist, because people were like, but we need to know like how to like, you know, like package this, or like, you know, but something that before I was stepping into the studio to record a song with United, and before I was a part of United, someone said something to me which it felt like it was God's kindness in preparing me to not compare myself to other people. And to just be content with who God's called me to be and what he's asking of me, and to not look to the left or the right in comparison or in envy, and be content with, you know, what God was going to do and is doing, you know. And I go back to it a lot, and they said, just because it looks like this for this person when it comes to ministry or leading, or even the type of songs and the way that God's called us to live our lives, doesn't mean it has to look like that for you. And she mentioned a few like female worship leaders. And then she said, just because it looks like this for this person doesn't mean it has to look like that for you. Don't put God in a box. Like, you can just like leave that there and allow him to do whatever he wants to do, and just be open to that. And it's definitely something that I maybe struggled with for a little bit when it came to like, you know, like you said, I've been a part of United. And for the last 10 years, it has had a particular sound, and people have really leaned into that, which is such an honor. And it's beautiful because it means the music's resonating with people, and that's connecting people to Jesus, you know, and which is the biggest honor of my entire life. And you still want people to be able to connect with Jesus. But what's crazy is like, I didn't write any of those songs. And so getting to now put pen to paper and write some of these songs, it will sound a little different. And it felt like for this first record that I was able to fully bring everything to the table. It wasn't just my voice, but it was my writing style and the way that I speak about of who Jesus is, like my expression of who he is. And I love some funky soul kind of chords, and you know, I prefer the black notes on the piano, and like, you know, I write in A flat, and just, I don't know, like wanting to just open it up a little bit. And in saying that, also in the last year since getting to steward this record and steward some opportunities that God has brought my way, I've also noticed that I actually need some songs for the church in there as well, because I'm being asked to lead worship, and songs are like tools in your tool belt. And so that's probably been a little bit harder for me to figure out how to do and to do it well. It's not an easy thing to do. And my hat goes off to everyone who writes songs for the church. Like, I've been able to lead them, but maybe not necessarily, you know, I'm just starting out in the writing of them. And and it's just a learning experience. And hopefully this is the second half of this record that I'm actually still working on right now, are those songs and those expressions. And so that's also another step of faith and trusting God and learning how to be joyful in learning and feeling like I'm, you know, starting out again. But the fun thing over the last year since getting to, I guess, represent these songs live from that first record, I love that we've been able to take what we had on that first record and translate it and play them differently and, you know, bump up the speeds a little bit and slow it down and make it more congregational and maybe sweet and simple. I just love that, all the songs are quite malleable, and it's been sweet how we've been able to take certain ones and have really found that they've connected with people in worship settings and in churches. And so I'm excited for what's yet to be and what's yet to come. And I know one day there'll be a live worship record, but it just doesn't feel right for now.
Yeah.
So hopefully people are willing to come along on the journey as I'm just being obedient to what I feel God's, saying for this season and the ones to come. So, yeah.
That was TAYA. Make sure to check out her new single, Gonna Be Good, and keep your eye out for her forthcoming solo album. All right, stay tuned. Up next, it's Sizzling Hot Takes.
You're talking trash, mate. 1 minute you were saying we were best mates, sharing toothpaste, and the next minute I'm really thinking fast. Cause your words leave scars like an Uzi, like an AK gonna leave bruises. You really hurt me bad. I'll break like bones if you let me, and try to turn your sad face upside down. Inside the troubled waters I came out.
You're listening to Easy Life and Gus Dapperton. The song is Antifreeze. Well, today's podcast is brought to you in part by the new book, Confessions of a Christian Alcoholic. Author Jonathan Seidel knows firsthand how even believers can get stuck in shame and destructive habits, especially when it comes to one of society's biggest obsessions, alcohol. In Confessions of a Christian Alcoholic, he details his spiral into disordered drinking and shares the 4-step process he eventually used to break free. There's hope for alcoholics who become Christians and for Christians who become alcoholics. Find Confessions of a Christian Alcoholic wherever books are sold. What if you could change a child's life with just $10? Right now, thousands of vulnerable children in East Africa are suffering from jiggers. It's a painful, preventable parasite that burrows into their feet. Soul Hope is the only organization treating it through foot washing, medical care, and durable closed-toed shoes that protect kids long after treatment. $10 may not seem like much in today's world, but when we come together, those small gifts add up to big change. Join the 10 for 10 campaign. $10 protects 10 small toes. Visit soulhope.org/10 to give now. One small gift makes a big difference. Again, that's soulhope, SOLE, hope.org/TEN. Okay, it is time for Sizzling Hot Takes. This is where we have an AI bot come up with very hot takes. I read them. You guys tell me your thoughts on the take. Is it an accurate take or not? Here we go. First one, randomly. First one, I promise. This is not sandbagged. Taylor Swift songs have thought-provoking lyrics.
I wonder what I think about this. Yes, obviously true.
Imagine saying no and just being hated for the rest of your life.
Yeah, I was going to say, it doesn't matter what I think. This is a trap. This is a trap by AI to make you get canceled. This is like an episode of Black Mirror where they want people to turn against you. No thanks, AI. She's great. We love her. She's perfect.
Could you say that with like a little more sincerity?
Mario Kart is the best Nintendo game.
No, it's not. It's not the best game.
What is?
Yeah,
Probably
what are the
Super
other
Mario
ones?
3. That'd be the best.
OG.
Super Mario 3.
I actually played Super Mario Bros. 3 last night, and it holds
It
up.
holds, man.
Like it
Even
is.
the cheat codes.
Again,
One of the first games had cheat codes. It's a great game.
warp whistles. It's perfect.
Living forever would be fun.
No. I want to die soon.
No.
That's actually, I preached a sermon about that, and it's great. Big turnout.
All right. Laugh tracks in TV shows are great.
No, they're not. I'm not a fan of laugh tracks.
To be honest, we're rewatching some Seinfeld, and it works. It works.
King of Queens wouldn't be the same without it.
It wouldn't.
Yeah,
No,
some
pull it
shows
off.
need it.
Not every
Scary.
joke lands.
Yeah, you pull it off, it's scary.
I feel like Friends and Big Bang Theory and 2.5 Men, the CBS era, ruined the laugh track comedy.
100%.
But I do think King of Queens or Seinfeld or whatever, it definitely works.
Yeah.
All right. Squirrels are smarter than foxes. How would we know?
There seems to be more of them. I'll say that. And, that's got to be something. I mean, how many times you've seen a fox these days?
I mean, I do see a lot of squirrels in the street. I'm
gonna go with squirrels.
Running the streets.
I don't know if I've ever mentioned this on the podcast. At my old job, I used to run an Instagram account for a squirrel when I worked for a university because there was one that would come by my office on campus.
I know we're not supposed to do follow-up questions, but what was the name? You're just there's too much of a box. What was the name of the squirrel?
And what school did you go to?
This is when I worked at Stephen F. Austin State University. The mascot was a lumberjack. No, there was a squirrel that I named Twiggy that came by my office. We set up a little swing for it. We would put out snacks. You can still follow him on Instagram. I don't run the account anymore, but someone else does.
Was this part of the curriculum?
I mean, honestly, squirrels are smart because like at ORU, Jesse, EMR had that honeycomb lattice that went up the side of the buildings and our windows would open, it's March, weather's nice. You crack the window and you come back from class and a squirrel has ransacked your room, your dorm room. Oh yeah. That happened multiple times.
Even if you're on high floors?
Oh yeah, because they would climb up the honeycomb and go up the side of the building.
Hey, back to my paranoia. Every once in a while, you hear about squirrels taking out a whole power grid. Okay, they're hiding acorns in the transformer, and the whole thing blows. When's the last time a fox took out a whole city? We got squirrels taking out cities all the time.
All right, soda tastes better poured over ice than from a can.
For sure, better over ice, especially if it's the right ice. If it's elite ice, you're good.
See, the only thing is I hate doing dishes, so I will just drink it out of the can so that I can just throw it away.
Okay, deep cut.
Throw the glass away.
Diet Coke, better over ice. Diet Pepsi, better out of the can.
Really?
It's a little crisper. Wow. It's a little more crisp.
I will say this: Chick-fil-A does have the elite ice, and
I have that ice maker at my house.
Yes,
the nugget
it's
ice,
worth buying it. But if you want to get some Coke Zero or whatever on it, you just toss the cup.
I don't think it's about the ice. I think it's about decanting the soda. Let that thing breathe a little, and then take a sip.
Decanting it. You have a soda decanter at your house. All right, comfortable clothing beats style any day of the week.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
For sure.
Look at what we're all wearing right now. Yeah.
We're all wearing hoodies and sweaters right now and hats. And
most of us would have a pet tiger if we could.
I don't know.
Accurate.
I like small animals. I think like 40
I feel like this would be maybe most men. I don't see many women wanting to have a tiger in their house.
I saw a video, and it appeared to be in Saudi Arabia or something. And people are swimming in a pool.
Yes.
And somebody let a tiger out and jump in the pool just to prank his friends, like a live tiger. And I was thinking, that'd be a great prank. A live tiger.
That'd be a great way to not have any more friends.
Yeah.
Got a good TikTok video.
Apples are the most overrated fruit.
No, that's not true. Apples are amazing. You can't improve on recipes like an apple. God made it. You can't improve on that.
I don't know though, because
Eve would disagree. Marty, it's pretty bad fruit if you ask me.
Have you ever baked an apple with some cinnamon? I mean, come on, you could do it. You could flip it up any way you want. Apples are great. The most overrated would be like apricots, plums. Who wants to eat something with like a seed in the middle of it? That's exhausting.
But
like
I don't think they're overrated.
Like peach, you know what I'm
apples
saying?
have seeds in them.
No. I'm saying like the big ones, the big pits. I'm talking like a peach. Like you have an acorn in the middle of a freaking peach.
Sucking on the peach pit is great.
Speaking of Seinfeld, when she's eating it and she starts eating his peach center, it's just gross.
It is true. Dad jokes are actually really funny.
They are funny.
Yes.
They're great.
Yeah, sure.
Sour cream and onion is the best flavor potato chip.
No.
Top 5, not
Top
best.
5, yeah.
I think
what's best?
Original Dorito flavor.
Really?
I mean, it's probably
no.
It's. I don't think humans
like the
have
cheddar?
with all the science
I like the cheddar
that we
cheese.
have.
Yeah.
Like what other Dorito is there?
Have come with anything better?
What class
Cool
is it?
Blue Doritos.
Cool Ranch.
So
I'm
you're
talking
saying Cool Ranch is the best?
No, he's saying the original one is.
Which is the original?
That's the original.
Nacho cheese.
Cool Ranch.
Oh, nacho cheese.
No, the original isn't Cool Ranch. Nacho cheese is the original, and then they did Cool Ranch as the follow-up.
Well, Cool Ranch is the only right answer here. It's
correct. Okay, I was concerned
flavor
that you were saying the
perfection.
orange ones were the best. No, okay.
I'm a red-blooded American, and I love Cool Ranch Doritos.
Jesse,
These
why are you
colors don't
saluting
run.
right now? Just kidding.
All right. The customer is always right.
Heck no,
No.
that's not true. They're wrong most of the time.
I'd say 60% of the time they're
Not in the Karen
definitely
era.
wrong. Yeah.
Yeah. Water beds are not comfortable.
They are not comfortable.
Agreed. They're fun to jump on.
I mean, you really have to fill that bad boy up.
Can't say from firsthand experience, but I get very motion sickness. I get very motion sick, and I don't even try it. Don't even want to try it. So
Miami is the best city to take a trip to.
No, it's not good. No, don't do it.
Never been, but I already know it's not true.
You'll be given $50,000
It's okay.
to random cars left and right. You'll be scammed so much.
That is true.
That's where the girl got scammed. It wasn't where she got scammed in Florida. No.
Big festivals are more trouble than they're worth.
Yeah.
No way. I love it. It's my
Depends on the age.
It's my
Depends on the age,
favorite way to
be
experience
honest.
music is festivals.
Really? If they have,
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, I've been to all the big ones, and they're all very crazy. And it's like so hard to even, you'd like wait the whole day to see one performer. And then if you want to just peek, they're like a mile away. And then let's go to the other stage. It's a lot. Everything's $8. Water. It's crazy.
Jesse and I went to Lollapalooza. I went 14 years in a row. Jesse went most of those. I learned how to do it well. 20 minutes of this artist, 20 minutes of that artist. I'm just moving. I loved it. It was great. Anyway, all right. Watching the sunset is boring.
No, it's peaceful.
I think if you have a snack, a beverage, some Cool Ranch
Yeah, that's Cool
Doritos,
Ranch,
it's actually
I'm talking
delightful way to end the
Coke
day.
on some ice, with some
Yeah,
Doritos.
there you
I'm
go.
on the beach. I like it.
Fast and Furious is a better movie franchise than Star Wars.
Yeah, it is.
Absolutely.
Of course. Not even close. Not close.
No debate.
Wow. Tacos should never be served on a hard shell.
No. I like
No.
Who wrote this?
If it's right.
Is it-
If it's right.
AI wrote this.
Hey, guys, trying to figure out.
If it's Taco Bell shell, yeah, it's not
can-
good. But if it's
can I be
any other
honest?
world you're in, yeah.
This AI bot seems very hungry, right? The AI bot
It's a lot
wrote
of
this
food,
around
yeah.
lunch because they're like 50% food.
It's
I
asking
told
you,
Emily
like,
this.
preferences. It's not even it's not like asking which is better.
As I was going through and generating them, like it was like food. I was like, my goodness. Last two. Honey is disgusting because it's basically just bee poop.
Is it?
I don't care what it is. It's fantastic.
Is it bee poop?
Comes out of the butt.
Well, it's still delicious. I eat honey sticks these days.
Yeah.
It's a little plastic stick with
You're the one
straw
who
full of
buys
honey.
those
Great pick me up.
at the supermarket. It's a little over here in California, they sell THC ones, so it's like a honey stick. It's crazy.
Honey has a different connotation in California.
Yeah.
All right, last one. Dreams don't have any substantial meaning.
Oh, I base most of my major decisions on the dreams the night before. So I hope this is incorrect.
Pentecostals have entered the chat.
I'm going to go with, okay. I was going to go with no, but I don't want to upset the Pentecostals. I will say the last dream I had, I don't think I told you this, Cameron. I had a dream that I interviewed Shaq the other night because you said you were going to be watching some game, something to do with Shaq.
The Magic retired his jersey finally.
Yeah. And I had a dream that night that I interviewed Shaq for the podcast. And it was very real because I woke up thinking, did I actually do that? And then I was like, why would I interview Shaq for the Relevant podcast?
So does that have a substantial meaning? Because the take is dreams don't have any substantial meaning. I would say you're confirming that they don't.
It means Shaq is the next cover of Relevant.
I love
We'll
it.
find a way.
Spoiler.
I'm determined.
The magic.
All right, that'll do it for Sizzling Hot Takes. Well, before we wrap things up, I want to thank TAYA for joining us today. Make sure to check out her new single, Gonna Be Good, and get her forthcoming sophomore solo project. Also, she has a European tour this spring. So if you're over in Europe, make sure to check that out. Also, check out issue 114 of Relevant. Brooke Lidgertwood is on the cover. We have great features with Need to Breathe, Mike Todd, Rainn Wilson, and so many others. It is available for free thanks to our presenting sponsor, The Covenant, which is available now on Apple TV. If you want the beautifully designed enhanced edition, you can get that as part of Relevant Plus. With Relevant Plus, you get the deluxe magazine plus unlimited ad-free reading at relevantmagazine.com, as well as an ad-free version of this podcast and more to come this year. Plans start as low as $250 a month. You can find out all the info on the Relevant Plus tab at relevantmagazine.com. All right, on that note, we'll wrap things up. I'm Cameron Strang.
I'm Jesse Carey.
I'm Emily Brown.
I'm Marty.
Right, we'll see you on Friday. Have a great week, everyone.
Thanks for listening to the Relevant Podcast. Check out our features, interviews, and news updates every day at relevantmagazine.com. And make sure to follow Relevant on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram for the latest. For more great podcasts, browse the shows on the Relevant Podcast Network, which you can find at our site. And while you're there, don't miss the all-new era of Relevant Magazine. A new issue releases every other month at relevantmagazine.com.
I knew this day would come.
Relevant Podcast Network.